Elk Island Park Superintendent Stephen Fleming works and lives right on this great wildlife preserve.
In my role as superintendent here, I have this privilege, really, of being part of a history of bison conservation that's over a century in the making, and we're still going.
The story of Elk Island National Park wood and plains bison programs has been retold over the last number of decades, but the park continues being a world leader in bison breeding and distribution and remains the purest source of genetics anywhere.
It started around 1906, and at that time some of the very last bison were in Montana, and about 400 of them or so was one of the very last herds of pure plains bison in that particular case, and they were bought by the Canadian government and brought here.
That was critical in preventing extinction of the species. The park currently manages a herd of 800 wood bison and 500 plains buffalo. 75 to 100 calves are born there each year.
To the extent that we can, we send bison to conservation projects throughout North America and even over to Russia. And the rest of the animals we put out to auction, and bison farmers tend to buy them because they're the best gened animals. They're the original conservation herd. We have to disease test every single animal before it goes off for a conservation project. So as a consequence, they all have to run through the facility. This is the bison handling facility for plains bison, and we're just going to go up and take a look at how the animals move through this whole thing and see what animals we have around.
So you process hundreds of bison in this area on any given day, I guess, eh?
Well, yeah, when we move them through, we're usually handling about 400 animals. Increasingly, we're sending them to the United States. Recent work looking at the genetics shows that there really isn't any cattle genes in our bison population, and there are in most of the other bison populations in the United States and at other places.
On this early April day, only a few stragglers were near the pens.
Well, bison move all the time.
Of course, the Elk Island pens are a busy place when the herd is being inoculated, tested, or separated.
We have other projects going on in the United States, even with private landowners, a big initiative with the American Prairie Reserve right now in Montana. And they're trying to grow a population. The only bison they'll take are ours because we have the genetically pure original bison herd.
Purity of genetics, the primary reason bison revival programs have centered around Elk Island Park all these decades.
And it's very special to be part of something that's holding on to this magnificent animal. And we're ground zero for conservation for bison, and we're proud of it.
For Go Edmonton, I'm Tim Dancy.